Hello and welcome to DarkMouse's Daily Scroll with me, DarkMouse.
Me, Thef.
And me, Hanaconda.
Cool, so we are jumping straight into a quick match this time around against Shadghost, I believe. Again, small screens, it's difficult to...
Yeah, Shadghost.
Shadghost.
You should really make a note of it.
We should, yeah, I keep meaning to and I keep forgetting to, but oh well, we still get the name across and that's the point. So this is the Automated Titans playing this time around. And as titanic as they are,
None of them are in your opening hand.
yeah, which is good. Apart from the gun automatons, or the copper automatons, those would be nice to have in my hand, rather than two rigs. But I do have a clock library straight off, so if I can keep that in my hand, I can have some really early deck cycling going on, which is quite nice. So this week is going to see a lot of different players from us, because I've been messing around with the deck builder.
Yay.
And I'm going to be trying out a couple of different decks, because I'm fairly sure you guys are probably quite bored of just decay and energy at this point, like mono decay and energy at this point. So I'm going to be trying a few different things out and seeing how things work.
I think we're also at the point where it's not unreasonable to assume that experimentation is acceptable.
Yes.
Because, you know, as far as it goes, you're quite an experienced player now. It would make sense to start messing around with some other stuff.
It should also provide for some more entertaining stuff as you watch me, you know, fuck up royally. It's because of, ha! I've got this and you can't have that anymore, but now I don't have that anymore because you did... Oh. Okay.
I do, however, honestly wish that you and Hannah had recorded your game last night. Especially with the live audio that was flying across the room. Especially while I was trying to record last night's Megabyte.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
It was fun. It's disconcerting trying to record when people are giggling at each other across the room.
Oh no, not another on my witch doctor.
Oh dear. A preview of what is to come.
Yes.
Cool. So we've got a pretty even trading going on in this particular round. I've just burnt Kinsfolk Brave, and they tag teamed Ragged Wolf and the Kinsfolk Brave against my gun automaton. So no damage to idols yet, and as you can see, I'm using the control function, which means that I can see every stat that I need to. At this point, they typical growth, getting out some nice, quick and early creatures, and typical energy, not being able to do a damn thing about it. Except put down clock libraries.
So many fucking clock libraries.
That's probably the easiest way for an energy player to be able to get the cards they need. Is just put down clock library after clock library after clock library, and hope they can keep it up.
It fits with the ethos of everything as well, because it makes sense that their deck cycling would be automated along with everything else that they do.
That's true. I never really thought about it that way. That's nice. I mean, there's stuff like burn and clock libraries. One thing I have noticed though is that every other resource type seems to be able to it can pull out a lot of different cards that let you cycle your decks through quicker.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open the floor up here to you guys. Why do you reckon that is? You know, what do you think made that made Mojang make that design decision?
I think it boils down to the fact that energy can put out some very big, heavy-hitting creatures that can survive a lot more than other creatures from other decks can. I mean, take Growth, for example. All the creatures that they pull out are quite susceptible to, say, burn or violent dispersal or something like that.
Well, most of them are, anyway.
Yeah. You can do a lot of damage to them very quickly, and they'll disappear very quickly. They also need to keep up that constant stream of getting those creatures back into play, getting them up, so they can keep that massive onslaught going. Whereas energy, once you've got your creatures out, it's a lot easier to keep them there. You also have the ability to put down automated forges, that kind of thing, that can cycle through, well, not even cycle through, they can bring out creatures of their own right. And that lets you get cheap creatures onto the battlefield quickly.
But Decay has Pestis, and Growth has Brother of the Wolf that also do that.
True.
This is true.
But then creatures are more susceptible to being killed, I guess, than structures. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, the Automated Forge has 5 health straight off for 3 resources. I never really looked at it that way. And what do you reckon, Hanaconda?
Well, Brother of the Wolf is 4 health? So he's only a little bit less susceptible.
True, but then he does have an attack value as well.
Yeah.
So he can attack. The automated forge just sits there and goes, I'm a forge! I make good automatons. Squeak!
You're going to have to draw the happy little forge now.
Oh dear.
I'm not entirely sure I can stretch that, actually.
Oh.
Okay, I'll draw the happy little forge.
I can
then.
make gun automatons cute.
That works. That works entirely. Here's an interesting decision from Shadghost here. Not taking out one of my clock libraries when they had a really good chance. I guess the feeling there is that it's going to be easier for them to take it out at some point extra. But if I can keep them from doing that, then it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Because I've got a fair few options now. I've got a good bit of removal in my hand. I've got some structures and finally a creature. It's only taken me, 7 rounds?
I should mention that I was, I think, asleep with a horrendous headache when you were recording this, so I have no idea what's coming in this game.
Lol. Oh dear. So just here's me like frantically trying to protect my automated forge. Not my automated forge, my clock library. Because those things are ridiculously useful early game. Because I've got 4 cards in my hand now, having used 2 of them, I think. And my opponent will now have 3, possibly 2 if they decide to sack for resources or more cards, which actually put 4 back in the hand. But I haven't had to sack for cards for this. I can still sack for resources and do pretty well. That's the benefit of the clock library. It's a brilliant way of doing things as well. So it looks kind of like they've almost given up on killing the clock library right now.
Yeah, I should probably work harder on cycling scrolls more, because I normally end up at some point with 1 scroll in my hand that I want to sacrifice for resources or scrolls, but don't want, also want to play because I need it.
Yeah. I guess it comes down to just finding that balance between sacking for resources and sacking for cards. Because I'm at 8 resources here, and when I first started playing, I wouldn't go past 6. Come hell or high water, I would not go past 6 resources. And that was mainly because I was trying to cycle the deck through as quickly as possible as well.
Yeah.
But then once you've found your playstyle, that will evolve itself. It's just a case of practice, really. Figuring out when to sack and when not to.
Haven't quite found a balance yet.
That's fair enough. I mean, it took me ages to find a balance. I think you could probably argue I still haven't found that balance in some cases, but...
Well, that's a question then. Do you feel that cycling your deck is as vital in this as, say, I don't know, other CCGs? I mean, obviously Magic, there's the cycling element of it, but once you can't draw, you're screwed, so you have to temper it. With this, everything cycles back through eventually. Do you think that, that's a vital part of the game? Or?
It's not just the cycling, it's the fact that if you've only got 1 scroll in your hand, and it's more resources than you need, or you need more than 1 scroll, to play, but that one might be perfect for what you need, you're a bit screwed.
Yeah.
That's very true. I think personally, deck cycling in there's the clock library.
Yeah.
Sweet, I might stop getting that off, destroying that. I think for not Magic, I think for scrolls, deck cycling is, I don't know, it's kind of I guess it really depends. If you're creature heavy, cycling doesn't particularly matter as much unless you have ended up having to sack all your expensive creatures early on because you drew them in your opening hand. Then deck cycling becomes into it. I think deck cycling is very, very contextual.
Yeah.
You have to be able to... Well, it all depends on the scenario, really. If the game calls for you to get your deck cycled through as quickly as you can, then that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
If not, then no worries. You just keep going for resources. I personally seem to race up the 10 resources because nowadays I don't put the Solemn Giant down without having 10 resources, because then I can put him down, take him straight down to 0, and he'll do 8 damage. And about mid to late game, that will generally be enough to kill off an idol.
Proven last night that can win you the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think either of us use many spells, but if you were using a lot of spells, you'd probably want to cycle quite a lot, because if you were relying on something coming out and you've already used all 3 of them,
Yeah.
since you're only limited to 3.
That's true. I mean, most of the spells I use, well, you said I don't use a lot of spells.
Yeah.
I do have quite a few in my deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you've got Burn and...
Yeah, Burns, Thunder Surges, Sparks, Violent Dispersals. I've got every energy removal spell in my deck.
Yeah.
All the ones, in at least multiples of 3. I think Thunder Surge is the only one that might not be. But I think I remedied that. But I think I can see what you mean. If you have a lot of spells, you do really want them back as quickly as you can.
Yes.
That tends to be why...
Whereas creatures and structures and enchantments stay out.
Yeah.
Once you've used a spell, you want it to come, cycle around and come back.
That's true. That's very true, actually. I guess in that case, you really want to be in the ideal situation where you're not really sacking creatures or structures or anything. You're just sacking spells till you can get the spells, till you can play the spells.
Yeah.
I mean, here I'm getting rid of Thunder Surge because it's not that much use. But hey, I do a Solemn Giant, so I'm happy. Because now I should be able to total an idol.
Yeah, Solemn Giant that you can literally put out and play as you're doing that turn.
Yep. That means that Kinsfolk Jarl, who is usually a huge problem for me,
Is fucked.
yep, it's now royally dead. So there's the Ilthorn Seed dead, and the Solemn... I love the way the Solemn Giant gets up. There's a cloud of steam, and then everything dies. It's quite nice. But no one lets me keep him out for long.
Can't
I
imagine
wonder
why.
why.
Not. That's like me with broadsides.
Yeah, true.
Everyone kills the broadsides first. With no reason, they're like one unit.
Yeah.
With a 72-inch range, strength 8, AP 1, death cannon that happens to be twin-linked and able to be put to BS6 with no issue.
Yeah, I can't imagine why anyone would want to kill that first.
And can have ignores cover.
Again, can't imagine why anyone would want to kill that
So
first.
people want to kill Boris.
Yeah,
My,
but Boris is just fucking scary.
Terrifying Slaneshi Soulgrinder of Doom.
Oh dear. Yeah, I that speaks for
Everybody
itself.
enjoys killing Boris.
Bringing a whole new meaning to the word Soulgrinder.
I may put a photo of Boris at the end of this episode so people can see exactly what Boris is.
With
Oh,
DarkMouse's permission.
As long as we don't get copyrighted, it's fine.
I don't think you could be copyrighted for Boris. Boris is about as unique as it gets.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, go ahead, just terrify the masses. We should get them to sign a disclaimer. The VoidHive are not responsible for, nor will we ever be responsible for, or liable for, any loss of soul, sight through gouging out on eyes,
Or sanity.
or sanity.
That's in our terms of service when they're subscribed.
Oh dear, we're gonna have so many emails now going, we didn't see a terms of service.
Well, no, of course you didn't. You didn't read them. We also reserve the right to turn you into human centipede with an iPad at one end.
Okay, let's not go that far. No.
Casual South Park reference there.
No. Just no. Just no.
Oh, and
He's an idol about to die.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sight of it. You will enjoy the sight of it, and you will scrub your memory of all that we've been told. All that we have
that's
told you.
also in the terms of service.
Oh dear. But really the best combination for energy, if you can get it going, is either Machination Mindset on your Solemn Giant, and then followed up by Metal Heart or something, or you get a Gun Automaton, you get the Solemn Giant, you get yourself on 10 resources, then you play a Bombard and tick down the Solemn Giant. They can detonate any idol doing that because they make up to 10 damage overall, which is quite nice. But I think my opponents kind of had a bit of a bad draw, because I'll be quite honest, they've been like really good at keeping up the creature count, keeping up the defenses and stuff, but I think at this point I've managed to overwhelm them just a little bit. It's possible they had like a stack of creatures at the opening of their deck, and now they've gotten through to like the doldrum of their deck where there's no creatures at all, and there's no removal in there either. So hopefully, hopefully they'll be able to bring this back, because this has been one hell of a game. But that's interesting. Okay, fair enough. That is GG. I don't know if they meant to do that, or if that's just like pure missing it, because Now, for those of you who can't see what I can see, my cannon automaton, I move that down. That will deal 5 damage to the idol. And the top gun automaton will deal 5 damage to the idol as well. And that's going to result in a GG. And just because I'm feeling mean.
Thunder Surge.
Yep. I always do parting stuff like that if I can, just to keep my practice up and stuff. But I think they got a bad draw towards the end of this. They were a brilliant player with a sound strategy and a sound deck. I quite enjoy playing against them.
So, yeah, very well played. I guess off to the store now.
Yep, indeed.
Let's see what happens there.
And what might we get? Now, the way it's going to work for getting scrolls is I'm going to do them in sets of 4, so order, growth, energy, then decay. And I'll keep doing that, just buying the 1 each time. And then once I hit 1,000, I'll finish that set, and then I'll buy the 10. So here, because last time I bought a decay scroll, I believe,
Yep.
I'll finish the set, and now we get 10. Joyous. So let's see what 10 we get, shall we? This is going to be interesting. Golem skin. I don't actually use those. I probably should, but I don't. Junkyard. That might be useful. Dreading Mist. I've got like 5 of them. Winged Soldier. Brilliant. That's going in a deck which you guys will see tomorrow, actually. Magi Wolf. Also useful. Vitriol Aura. There's a poison one for 1 resource. That's brilliant. That will go in a poison deck of some form. Ducal Infantryman. Yay.
They're fun.
Ember Bonds, because I have none of those already. And Thunder Surge, because that's just what I need. That's Frostwind.
Whoa.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Frostwind's very useful.
Yeah.
It's brilliant for 2 order.
I have one in my order deck. They are scary useful.
And the Thunder Surge, because you know, I haven't got 3 of those already.
Lol.
Cool. So that's been today's set of games. And
Today's set of scrolls, I guess.
today's set of scrolls, yeah.
Yeah.
10 scrolls today, guys. So that's us done for 10 days then, I guess.
Yeah, we're off to somewhere hopefully warm and pleasant. And no, we're not. We'll be back again tomorrow as per usual.
Yep.
No one told me we were going somewhere warm and pleasant.
We're leaving you here.
Oh.
You put me in a box a few episodes ago.
You didn't complain
You
then.
basically did it to yourself.
Actually, no, Sekka did it to me.
Indeed. We had you in a box for a while. It was a fun experience.
Yay. Right. Are we going to keep rambling on, or should we say goodbye to the lovely people and let them get about their day?
We should probably say goodbye just so they don't get sick of the sound of our voices, because they can't be sick of the sound of our voices already, can they?
Well, no, well, I guess we could do the extended outro that, you know, everybody does.
Oh god, no. Let's not.
Okay.
Well, guys, go check out the Kickstarter if you haven't already. We think this is a really important thing for, you know, the future of gaming in general.
Yeah.
That, and it's something we've wanted to do for ages. We think it's a really important project. Link in the description below.
And check out our Twitter. We have one now.
We are at TheVoidHive. Come follow us.
Indeed, that's not creepy. That's all we got time for, guys. Like, favourite and subscribe to support the series. I'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.